back on this. This is
Me too.
exciting.
I'm very excited. It's been a long time. We haven't recorded an episode in like like a year almost.
Year? Has it been a year?
And
Is this
maybe not a year.
like a year anniversary? Is this like
No, it might have been a year because if you think about it, the last time we really recorded was around the time of the Earl Spence accident, and or maybe a little bit before that, because we were active around then, and that was in December last year. So really, we haven't recorded in almost a year. So sorry, everybody. This is the most inconsistent podcast out there, but we're
ever?
uh, we're looking to make amends on that part of our consistency. So hello, we're back, baby. We're back.
Yes, yes, we are back. Definitely back. Bigger, stronger, thicker.
Oh my gosh,
Wait,
thicker.
I don't know. Where is this going? Wait, where is this going? I don't even know,
We
man.
might
See,
as well change this podcast from the Buzzo Cuzzo to the Gay Innuendo podcast.
oh man,
We'll
hey,
get all the fans, man. Come on, man. Let's wear some rain. We'll put a rainbow flag behind us, and everybody will want to tune in.
hey, man. I just got so much
Hey,
built up. I just
boys.
gotta let.
What?
I just got so much built up. I gotta just let it out. I gotta just.
Whoa. This is No Fap November right now, so
I say right now is going to sound this way, but you know what? This is our conversation. This is me and you to a T. This is why me and you do go together like peanut butter and jelly. Because
peanut butter and jelly and ain't nothing smelly. What?
wait, well, I hope not.
Yeah, me neither. Hey, so man, let's talk about New Year's resolutions and whatnot, because I know you wanted to bring that up and talk about that. Where did you want to go with that?
So my thing was this: is that during a pandemic, gyms were shut down. During quarantine, gyms were closed. Nobody was able to do it. People lifting weights at home. My thing is this: going into 2021, what is the New Year's resolutions going to look like? Is it going to be like, hey, obviously what? Are you going to go to the gym? I mean, you can't have that mindset that the gyms are going to be open. We have to be realistic about this and say, okay, there's a good chance my gym might be open for a few months. It's a good chance it could stay open completely, but you got to have that mindset to not be disappointed if it does shut. And if it does shut, what is your goals to still meet, your New Year's resolution? If you want to lose weight, do you have things at home, or did you just sell it because the gym's open back up? So that was what I wanted to talk about. How do you keep your New Year's resolutions during a quarantine type of situation if it does happen again?
That is a good question, because if there is another shutdown and you don't have all the equipment, then you're going to be shit out of luck and stuck at home trying to do push-ups. But you do need some weight to get an effective workout. I mean, the man's body in general, I mean, it is always good for us to be lifting heavy weights and strength conditioning and things like that. Actually, you lose more weight and get more lean muscle by lifting weights. So for me personally, if the gyms were to shut down again, I personally don't have any equipment at home. So myself, I would be shit out of luck. And like right now, people are gouging for equipment, at home equipment. And so I'm thinking like, man, I really don't want to spend 3 times the amount for this equipment that I would actually need at home. But when it comes down to it, it probably would be worth it, because I mean, before the pandemic and before quarantine, we never thought about certain things like how to prepare for a situation like that. And now that we have gone through this and seen what it's like, because before you would think like, oh, like this will never happen. Like,
Right.
you think it's something that would never happen. So you're like, whatever, you put it off. But now I'm thinking, should I spend 3 times the amount for this equipment to have it at home in case I do want to continue to get my workout on and all the gyms, shut down or whatnot again? Because the gyms are open right now. You have to work out with a mask. I've been doing that myself. So
How is, by the way? I mean, I obviously don't go to the gym. I don't have the gym membership. So,
mhm.
I mean, I can only imagine. I mean, I go to the grocery store, I wear the medical mask. I could breathe through it. If I wear the cloth one, I have a pretty hard time breathing through it. So what type of mask do you wear? And is it difficult to work out with the mask?
I wear the typical mask, the blue surgical looking mask, just the average everyday mask that you can get at a CVS or whatnot. But it is a little different working out with the mask on. You can't breathe as well. I will say that. but it's something you just deal with because you want to get your workout in. But it kind of feels like you're high altitude training, because before all this pandemic or whatever, there was a mask that you could buy, like a workout mask that gave you the high altitude training type of feel.
Oh yeah, 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 I seen that. Yeah, there was like a lot of fighters who use that mask, right? It's like the elevation
Yeah.
mask or something like that, right?
Yeah. So it almost feels like I'm doing that. Like I'm using some type of high altitude training. So it seems like it could be helping me in a certain way, but I'm sure it could also be bad in a lot of ways too, to be working out with a mask. And one of the things that I don't really understand is that the gym rules are, if you're on a cardio machine, you don't have to wear a mask. But if you're lifting weights or doing anything else in the gym other than cardio, treadmill, elliptical, stairmaster, then you have to wear a mask. But if you're on those machines, you don't. So I'm
Okay.
thinking like, okay,
Hold up.
so
This don't make sense to me
this
though. 'Cause, I
it
mean, think about
defeats
it.
the
You're on a
purpose.
cardio machine. You're breathing hard. You're on a cardio machine, right? You're running.
Yeah,
You're breathing. It's going everywhere. You're lifting weights and you're not breathing heavy. I mean, you might do a little grunt, right? Unless you go to like one of them ones that where you get dinged if you
yeah.
grunt and kick you out of the
That's
place. But regardless, though, what that doesn't make sense. It's mind blowing to me that you can sit there and get on a treadmill, run, breathe on somebody in front of you or behind you. I mean, whatever, it's going everywhere because the person behind you is breathing on you. You're breathing on the person in front of you.
yeah.
It's a never ending cycle. It doesn't make sense to me. Sorry.
I will say this, because you mentioned grunting. When you have the mask on, you can make way uglier faces when you're working out. And I never thought about it before, but I was hitting a set the other day and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I'm making the ugliest face right now, but I'm hitting a really heavy, hard set. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I bet you if I didn't have this mask on, I would be more self-aware of what my face is looking like. And my set probably wouldn't be as hard. So I, in a way, like wearing a mask for that purpose right there. But other than that purpose, I don't like having to wear the mask because you're breathing in all your own CO2 and whatnot. But who knows? Maybe they have us all high altitude training because the aliens are coming or something like that, and we gotta defend ourselves. Or for civil war, there's gonna be a lot of smoke and gunfire in the air. Who knows? It is election day right now.
I see it. I see it. Yeah. Hey, you're right, man. You're right on the money with that. I mean, I'd go more towards the alien one, but hey, who am I?
Hey, 2020 has been a very bizarre year, and it could only get more bizarre. I think it's always a possibility. I'm not ruling out the possibility of Kanye West becoming president, because I've seen a lot crazier things like Donald Trump becoming president and whatnot. But today's election day, and I'm very curious to see what will unfold. I will say this, I'm not that much of a betting man, but I did put a little bit down on Kanye West becoming president, because you get $1,000 for every dollar you bet. So I'm like, oh shit, let me
Dude,
see if I
wait,
can pull a quick one.
hold on here.
You're
Hold
like,
on.
hold on, I'm sending you $10. Hold on,
Hold
time.
on. Hold on. A lot of you don't know, but right, me and my cousin, we do bet on some fights. We bet on boxing, we bet on UFC, we bet on football,
Small
or
bets, small bets.
small bet, tiny bets, tiny bets. But
Nothing
if
that be making our wives wonder what the
no,
heck is going on.
no, a little $5 here, $5 there.
Exactly.
I give him $10 and I say, cuz bet on this boxing match. And then he sends me the slip and it says Ryan Garcia, $3, Raiders, $1, 49ers, 2.
Parlay.
I'm
Yep.
like, hold on, wait, hold on. What's going on here? We just were betting on boxing, but my cousin knows what's going down. He knows about all the ins and outs. So I'm really surprised that you didn't tell me that there was an election bet.
Oh
I
well,
would put cheese down.
I didn't know. I didn't know you'd be interested. I thought you were really interested in sports, so I was trying to help you out. I'm trying to keep a few dollars in your
So
pocket,
what were
because
the odds for everybody else?
they're not that appealing as far as winning
Okay.
money goes. Yeah, I think Joe Biden was favored to win the election by 200. So if minus 200, so if you
Okay.
bet 200, you win 100. And then Donald Trump is the underdog for this election, actually, not by a lot, but it's like plus 174. So if you bet 100, you win
Okay.
174 plus your money back. Yeah, but then
Kanye West though, huh?
well, it's not exactly Kanye West, but it's any other party than Democrats and Republicans. So Kanye West, he has his own party. The birthday party is called.
Is that really what it's called?
Yeah, that's really what it's called. Yeah.
Who thought of that one? That's what
I-
I'm.
I'm sure Kanye West thought about it. Did you watch Did you watch Kanye on
I
JRE?
didn't. I didn't. I didn't. I have to watch it, and the only reason why I say that is because there's so much controversial with it. It's all online. People are talking about it, so I do need to jump on it, give my own
It's
assess on it.
it's pretty interesting. I will say Kanye, he was a little bit all over the place, but if you're an artist and like an artistic person, like I consider myself, I feel like I'm a very creative, visionary type of person. I feel like you'll relate with Kanye a lot more and resonate with everything that he was talking about in the podcast, because he kind of goes off on tangents, but he brings back the point after talking about three different things, and then he'll go back to the main point he was talking about, and you could be lost in the sauce with the things that he's talking about if you're not really paying attention. But if you're noticing, when he talks in a very visionary, artistic type of way, and I get it. Like, he's an artist, and he talks a lot about God. He talks a lot about what he would do as president, and he talks a lot about the music industry. I thought it was very interesting, and I thought it was a great way to hear the mind of Kanye West on long form audio. So I thought it was a great podcast. But like you said, it has a lot of controversy, and a lot of people are shooting it down, saying that they don't understand Kanye. He's a madman. He's crazy. He needs to be on meds. And I think that
Well, from
they're
what I
just
understand, he
cruel.
he is supposed to be. He's supposed to be. Let's be honest. He was taking meds. He's supposed to still be on meds. This is just from what I know. So it's not like they're saying, "Hey, Kanye, you got to start taking some medication." I mean, I already believe it's already been deemed that he does need medication. They gave him medication. He's just not taking the
They
medication.
gave him medication for bipolar disorder,
Yes.
and he stopped taking the medicine, and he started having outbursts here and there and what have you. But he does talk about that on the podcast, and he says that he wished that he never took the medication because he feels like it took his confidence when he would take the medication. He didn't feel like himself when he took it, and that's why he stopped taking it. But I mean, man, if you listen to this guy for 3 hours, it doesn't seem like he's a madman. It just seems like his thoughts are all over the place.
Well, I
But
mean,
people do got to remember too, though, this guy, he's one of the best brand designers in the world, and he's also on the board of Gap now. So he's not a dummy. He knows what he's doing. He
right.
just says things about running for president, and I think that's where people get a little lost, and they feel like, "What are you talking about, dude?"
Yeah, and I think too that when people think of somebody being a madman, they want to see the outburst, like they want to see somebody holding a knife going crazy, right? Like that's
Yeah.
when people say madman, that's what they think of. But we don't know what's going on in this man's brain. It could be a madman going on in his brain, and it's just not coming out, for us to see it. We visually can't see it. I mean, we can hear him talking. We can kind of get glimpses of it here and there, and he also might be able to control it too. I mean, you got to remember, a lot of people that are bipolar, sometimes you just don't know until the episode happens. I mean, they could be extremely high, extremely happy, extremely down. They could be the high, and then they could be the low, and vice versa in between. And some people are really different than others. So, I think that, this Kanye that we're seeing, I mean, when you have, his wife going online saying that he needs to take his medication, she's worried about him. I mean, that's a sign for help, you know?
Yeah, I will say that he might have went crazy at a certain point as well, because of the level of fame he reached, and living that lifestyle could probably drive anybody crazy. But it seems like he's a family man now. He's more settled down, and the role of a father probably also helped ease his mind away
Of
from
course.
being involved with all the fame and everything that comes along with that. So I think that he might be in a better place mentally. And who knows, man? I mean, I highly doubt Kanye West would be the president. Like, why would anybody really vote for Kanye West? I mean, I don't know. That's saying a lot, because we used to think, why would anybody vote for Donald Trump? And then look, we got 4 years of him, a pandemic, and a
Yeah.
fucking false hope stimulus check. Where's my stimulus check at, Donald? Damn it.
Yeah. We man, next year, man. Next year. I
Next
mean,
year,
yeah. I mean,
I don't even want it.
look. Okay, you might not want it. Hey, send it my way, please. So
I'm not
I mean,
saying I won't take it, but damn.
look at Arnold though. I mean, nobody thought Arnold was going to be the governor, right? It
That's
happened.
true.
You know,
That's true.
that was a
That's
big thing for a lot of people in
hey,
California, man. That was huge.
that's another thing Kanye was talking about on that podcast about running for the California governor as well.
You know
Yeah.
what? I feel like he should have started a little lower,
Yeah.
got himself in there, and then I feel like because he went straight for the top. Maybe you should have not even went middle. Start lower, get in there, become a little,
Well,
work the lower level.
that's usually the process, right? They
Yeah,
start
yeah,
at
oh yeah,
the city
sure.
councilor level, they get into the mayor level, maybe go into the government of a state level, and then from there, maybe some kind of senate, and then you go to president. That's kind of like the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And
here's the thing: take care on a city level, take care of the city wise first, and then if you can show that you could take care of a city, then you know what? Guess what? Then you can move up another level. But you can't just be all king,
yeah,
all hell the king here,
yeah,
and you ain't even started at a small level, to where people can go, oh, this is mayor, this is governor, or anything. I mean, you got to have a track record built up so
he's
people know, and that way when you do videos promote yourself, you could have those infomercials, where
yeah.
they're pumping you up there, showing numbers and how much crime rate that you dropped and how much you took poverty, homelessness, everything that
Mm,
you came to correct. You don't
right.
have none of that.
He says he wants to be the leader of the free world and he would like to make the world free. And he talks about how we created money, but then we put a limit on the money. And he said that if money is what makes people happy at the end of the day, then why not just make more money and make everybody happy? And then he talks about, is there a price on the world? What's the price on the world? And, there's really no answer for that. And, I'm sure, in a make believe world, that would be cool. But I mean, there's a reason why there's government and there's rules, and it, ultimately it comes down to a dollar, and that kind of rules all. And it is a shame, but I mean, I also wonder what it would be like if the world was free and there was never any such thing as money. I mean, would everybody be much more happy? I mean, that would mean that we'd
I
be
don't
going
think so.
back to some kind of barter system, right? I mean, people
Yes.
have tendencies. People have human behaviors no matter what, and we'll always go back to some kind of value system, whether we had money or not. Like we'll start bartering stuff, and then it'll just come back down to money again. I don't know. That's just
Yeah, no,
my
I mean
opinion.
there's always a pecking order though. It's
Yeah,
somebody always has to be the top dog no matter what. They got to be the alpha.
yeah,
And if there is a barter system, there's always going to be somebody in charge that is going to run that barter system. So, you go into a town and you have some crops that you've grown and you're bringing it in because you're trying to get, some whiskey or something, right?
yeah.
Well, guess what? You're not just going to go find everybody who has whiskey. No, there's going to be one guy there that's going to have a bunch of guys behind him and he's going to be in control of the whiskey.
Pause.
That's just pause. There's going to be one guy, a bunch of dudes lined up behind him, ready to go in right. No, pause,
Whoa, whoa.
ready to go in to make the deal for the alcohol.
Oh,
Stay
okay,
with
okay.
stay with me.
Got it.
Man,
Got it.
your mind. I swear, I can't say
Hey
anything
man,
on
I
that.
know, man. Ugh, fuck yeah. Yeah, man. And you mentioned growing food, man. That is something that people should start getting back into, though. We got to start making our own crops again and being more self-sustained and eating healthier stuff. You grow your own food, don't you?
No, I don't. I don't grow my own food only because I knew that the place I'm living in now wouldn't be the place I'd be living in a couple years from now. So I
Here I
didn't.
am. Here I am preaching, and I don't grow my own food either.
Right, right.
I
I
don't
was gonna
even
say, wait,
I don't even grow a succulent.
okay.
I gotta start growing some succulents first,
Yeah,
and then we
yeah,
can
you
start.
do. Yeah, you do, man. No, I mean, look, at the end of the day, nobody really knows how to grow anything nowadays, especially pesticide free. Everything is pesticides. That's the only thing that, a majority of people know. And then if you want to grow, a garden or anything, you can't do it in your front yard, which I think is the craziest thing I've ever heard. I mean, people want to, the cities in California, they want you to mow the grass, keep everything, nice and clean.
Mm,
But what better way to show off, that you're doing healthy by than having a garden in your front yard, right? And it's motivation to go outside. Other people across the street probably be outside gardening.
yeah,
Neighbors can mingle with each other and interact. But I feel like everything is closed circuit. You got to have it in the backyard, right, where nobody can see you. You can't really talk to your neighbors because you got your fences up all over the place. I feel like the system is set up this way to keep people from really engaging, within each other. I mean, you got cities that have air quality control officers to go around. And if you're barbecuing outside, if too much smoke is going in the air, they come over and then you get a fine, all because you're barbecuing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
that doesn't make sense. They definitely want to separate people more and more and disengage everybody. And lo and behold, you have quarantine. Everybody has to stay inside. We got social media keeping people from actually making face-to-face contact. And it seems like we're getting further and further from engaging with people. And it's actually crazy because we could get even further from the point we're at right now. I mean, who knows what could happen in the future?
Yeah, I really believe everybody should be able to grow their own food. Unfortunately, we can't get to that point right now. I wish I can get to that point. I mean, I do have chickens. The chickens are producing eggs. So that right there in itself is a huge thing because, you know, it's something that you can literally rely on every single day as a food source. And I mean, yeah, there might be days where the chicken won't lay an egg, and that's okay. But there are a good majority of days, and if you have four chickens, you're getting 4 eggs a day, give or take. Go throughout that for the week. You're going to be giving your neighbors eggs because you're going to have too many to eat. You really should only eat maybe 6 eggs a week. Should be the limit that you should have for eggs.
Hey,
Uh,
what came first, the chicken or the egg?
uh, I have no idea. What do you think?
If I had to make a guess, I don't think either of those came first. I think that we're in a simulated video game. No, I'm playing.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I mean, just like the airplane that got stuck in the sky, right? And it was just there, and everybody was filming
Yeah.
it. A glitch in the matrix. Okay.
Man, I could tell you a story of a time that I hit somebody in a parking lot, and I promise you, this person was not there before I started pressing the gas. And like still to this day, I think that it was like some kind of glitch in the matrix. But I mean, of course, I would just sound crazy if I just told everybody that. But so serious. I mean, it sounds so cliche. Like, oh, he wasn't there. It wasn't my fault. And I'm serious, man. I'm in a parking lot, and the way that I ran into him, like you would ask yourself, how did this even happen? How did the guy even end up in front of him? Because the way he pulled in, it was such a bonehead way to pull in that you would wonder, like, was this guy even really there? Like, seriously, man. Like, so say you pull into a front of a business, naturally you would pull behind the car that's in front of you, right? This guy pulls in diagonal in front of me, and I'm turning around looking this way. At the time I was driving Uber, so I'm saying peace out to the person in my car. So I pull up to the business, right? Nobody in front of me, saying peace out. I start rolling ahead, and the guy is in front of my car at a diagonal like this, and I run into his side door, very slow, but it put a dent in his car, right? And
Wow.
in my mind, I'm thinking, why would he even do that? And then, I have one of those weird minds, and my mind could start wondering. And then I'm thinking to myself, I think I'm in the Matrix. I don't think that guy was really there. I think it was just a glitch, and he ended up right there. I don't
Hey,
know, man. That's
hey,
just
it's hey. You know what? Let me tell you something. Yesterday, I go out to the chicken coop and I grab the egg, right?
mhm.
And I'm looking at, it, I'm like, wow, this is a nice egg. I make sure there's no dents in it, no
Oh, I
nothing.
love nice eggs.
Fun,
I love
right?
I love 2 pairs of nice eggs.
Yeah. It's So I'm looking at it and everything's good, right? So I go inside the house. I go put it inside. You know, we have like a little egg carton. I put it inside the egg carton. I wash
Right,
my
right,
hands and everything.
right, right.
And maybe 10 minutes go by and I go, you know what? I want to just, look at the egg again.
Mm-hmm.
And I end up looking at the egg and I see these. I'm sorry, let me backtrack. Okay, so
Okay.
I walking into the house and I relook at the egg and I see peck marks on it. Like they actually cracked the egg. There was like two dents in it. So I'm like, oh man, there goes the egg. I don't want it to leak out or anything. So I'm gonna put it inside the egg carton. So I put it inside the egg carton. I go out, wash my hands. I'm tripping about it. I'm like, okay, great. Now I gotta wait till tomorrow to go, grab another egg.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, you know what? I'm just gonna make sure it's not leaking inside the egg carton. So I go inside there. I look at the egg. It's perfect. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with it. So I'm freaking out because when I was outside and I looked at the egg, it was fine. When I came inside the house to go ready to put it in, I look at it. It was cracked. I put it inside the egg carton. I do my thing. Go back, look at it again. There's nothing wrong with it. Then I start psyching myself out and I go, hey, what's going on with my brain? Like I'm really confused because
Yeah.
I seen the cracks on the egg. I seen the indents and I thought that they maybe took their beak and, maybe, pecked it a few times, but there was nothing wrong with the egg. It was 100% perfect. So I don't know, man. I mean, what does that mean? Is that is my mind playing tricks on me?
See, I have moments like that all the time, and I wonder to myself as well, is my mind playing tricks on me? But then I feel like we got to ask ourselves, are we in the matrix at times like that? Is there some kind of glitch that just happened? Because there was also a time where I thought that the lights were on downstairs, and I tell myself, "Oh, I'm gonna go turn off the lights. Let me just go do this real quick." And I go down there and they're off. And I'm like,
Wow.
"What? That's weird to me." I mean,
Do
there's
you
many.
okay? Do you think that maybe we are overloaded with stuff? Even like whatever. Even if you're home every day or you're working every day, do you think that maybe we're more overloaded in our brain than what we think? Maybe we think everything's normal, everything's fine, but in reality, it's not. Is that possible that our brain is going through so much that it's overlapping itself, it's looping some things, it's creating something from yesterday to today? Maybe it took an egg that I had seen that was, cracked last week and it threw that in my, in my brain. And I thought that was yesterday. Is it possible that these things are overlaying on each other?
Maybe. I think that there might be some kind of psychological thing going on. I mean, that would be the answer that you would think is the correct answer, but in a lot of ways we don't really know. I mean, we could only say what we think is happening, but who knows, man? I mean, there's a lot of possibilities. Our mind sees what it wants. I don't know, man. It's weird to me because like the other day I was looking for the lemonade on top of the refrigerator, right? And I'm telling her, hey, where's the lemonade on top of the refrigerator? I'm like, okay, I'm looking on top of the refrigerator. There's no lemonade. I literally looked on both sides all over the place, no lemonade. She said, yes, it is. I said, babe, go look for yourself. There's no lemonade. Where's the lemonade? Like, because it's a big container. She
Right.
goes and looks and she pulls down the lemonade. And I'm like, how could I not see that? Like I looked both sides all over the whole top of the refrigerator. No lemonade. And then she says, there's lemonade is up there. And I'm like, what? She goes and pulls it down. I'm like, I didn't even see that. How did I miss that? It's a big container of lemonade.
Wow. So did she therefore go to the route of, oh, you just weren't looking?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, of
You
course. Yeah,
weren't looking.
I get the same thing all the time. I get like, oh, like the wife will tell me, hey, can you go grab something, out of the drawer? I'll go in there to look. I don't see the flashlight. I said, I don't see the flashlight. She's like, it's right here. She opens it up, boom, flashlight right there. And she's like, you just weren't looking. I'm like, I was freaking looking. I swear on everything, I was
Dude,
looking.
I told a few people this story before, and I think they wrote it off. They think I'm just being silly. But there was a time I was driving on the Las Vegas Strip, and I was making a left turn, and there was a Rolls Royce making a left turn a few cars ahead of me. I'm not even playing. Like I wish I could just tell you I'm playing because I sound crazy saying it, but that Rolls Royce disappeared after he turned left. I'm not joking, man. I'm so serious. That Rolls Royce disappeared. And moments like that really sign off on my idea that we're in some kind of simulation, man. We're in the digital simulation.
I agree, man. I wish I knew. I wish I knew. I mean, I wish I knew if we were. I mean, don't you think things would be? I mean, I feel like they almost feel like if we knew the truth, that everybody would freak out and run through the streets and go crazy. But honestly, I don't think that's the case, man. I feel like if everybody knew what was really going on or what lies ahead, people might be able to adapt a little bit more. You know, like you see in movies all the time where it's the end of the world and people are freaking out and looting and stuff. Would that be the case? Would somebody really find out that an asteroid's coming down to wipe out the Earth, and the first place they want to go is to the mall to go grab some shoes? I don't think so, man. I really don't. I feel like at at that point, it's all about bunkering down, protecting ourselves, finding out how we can get away, maybe go somewhere that we're gonna need to. But I really don't feel like people would go and just grab a 60-inch screen TV from Best Buy in a heat of panic and start breaking windows because the world's gonna end. I mean, I don't feel like they'd want to go out that way. How do you feel about that?
No, I don't think they'd want to go out that way either if they knew an asteroid was coming. I think that people would want to be with their families. I think
Yeah,
they'd want to spend more time with their family and really just do what makes them feel complete, because they know that once that asteroid hits, who knows what the possibilities are.
yeah.
Because that asteroid more than likely will end human civilization.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah, I think the movies sometimes get it wrong, but then again, we don't really know, what can conspire. So, I mean, we really don't even know humans, period. I mean, we think we do, and how many times do people have a animalistic mentality a lot of times. And, if it comes down, push comes to shove, we're definitely going to be, you know, the predator for sure.
I will say this: I seen something about an asteroid possibly hitting the Earth on today, actually, a few months ago. I don't think that is going to happen, because I think everybody would probably see that asteroid by now. There'd be video clips all over the internet, unless the video clips are on the internet and they're taking them down right away.
Have you looked up in the sky to see?
I have not actually. It does seem a little extra bright here in Las Vegas,
That seems,
but then again, I'm in Las Vegas, so that could be why it's looking extra bright. Let me ask you this:
yeah.
What do you, who do you, or all right, two questions. Who
Okay.
do you predict is going to win the election? And also, do you think civil war is on the brink of happening?
Okay. Um, I don't know who's gonna win, man. I really don't, because I don't know who's pulling strings. I don't know what the end game is. I mean, if we're using a chess analogy, I don't know. I don't know what they want to happen. Whoever's doing it. I mean, obviously, think about it. Just because you become president don't mean that you're the all in all. It's not how it works.
Hmm.
Yes, there are checks and balances. We've obviously seen that checks and balances don't really mean too much nowadays, but people still have to answer for something. So, obviously there's, I feel, to be honest with you, I feel the courts, it doesn't matter who's going to be president. Let's put that out. It doesn't matter who's going to be president. The
Hmm.
courts are going to be the all in deciding factor of everything, because everything leads to the courts. And that's why it's so big, this whole Supreme Court thing, for getting Justice Amy, it was like a huge thing, because it was, she's going to have the deciding factor along, with a squad of other high court judges that are going to say yay or nay on almost every topic out there if it reaches them.
Yeah.
So to be honest with you, I feel like it's not so much the president that we have to wonder, oh, is it going to be him or is it going to be him? I
Hmm.
feel like it's the courts are the one that's going to be the deciding factor for everything. And I feel like people, we kind of forget about that. We're so focused on this one person instead of this group of people that are
Yeah.
literally going through and saying yes or no on every topic that you can think of, from gun rights to your rights to a woman's rights to any right, whether it's, if it's racial, if it's not, if it's criminal, if it's not, it doesn't matter what, is going to hit those courts eventually. And especially if they don't like the decision the lower courts gave, then it goes to the appeals court. If they don't like what they had to say, then eventually it goes to the Supreme Court. Well, guess what? Then they're going to say yes or no on a particular topic. So they're the ones that are running. Wonder if they're the puppet masters. What if
Hmm.
they're pulling the strings? We don't know. I really don't think it matters who's going to be the president, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. If I were American, like I am, I'd vote Bernie, but Bernie's not running.
Right.
And if I was Russian, I'd vote Trump. No, I'm just playing. I'm just saying random stuff right now. Excuse me.
Yeah, you are.
You're like, what are you talking about?
I have
I
no
don't
idea
even
where you're
I don't
going with.
even know. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I was trying to
I,
make a joke and it was
I think
terrible.
I think there was a glitch in the matrix.
Glitch in the matrix, Russian, Bernie. Like, what are you talking about?
Dude, we were talking about horses and chickens, and you just
Horse
automatically
cocks.
what?
What?
What? See,
Some what? What? What?
dude, your matrix is screwed, bro. You need to have somebody fix that.
Donkey ass. What? Oh, you have Tourette's? I don't know. Fuck. Fuck me in the ass. Oh, what?
Wait, what?
You're like, chill, cuz.
Oh
Chill.
man, what? Welcome back. Welcome
Yeah.
back for sure. You don't get this anywhere else. That's well,
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You like that one?
I do. I like it.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. So yeah, so election, man, it's interesting. What I'm really interested in is the because obviously, California having all these different props out there and all this stuff. I really find it interesting, man, that you can kind of see a lot of, businesses pushing for certain things they want, a certain way to go.
Yeah.
You get the governor pushing for a lot of things to go by saying, oh, you should vote on this prop. And I
Yeah.
don't know, man, it's kind of interesting because, a lot of times if you see the governors and the businesses pushing towards one way, you really want to read the small print and figure out why.
Man, I think all the props. So in Nevada, the props, I don't even think they're called props. They might be called props, but I read some of the whatever they're called out here. I guess props or whatever. And man, it is really confusing and like trick question,
Yeah,
like the way they organize the paragraph that you have to read on each one. You got to ask yourself like, wait, do I say yes or no? There was one about gay marriage out here, right? And
really.
I
Wait,
think that
out there in Nevada there was?
yeah, so like
Really?
gay people could marry each other in Nevada, right? But they
Right.
had one about gay marriage and the way it worded itself. So I think that people who are gay should be able to marry each other. So like I wanted to,
I agree.
vote for them to be able to, but the way they worded it, it was so confusing. And I really wasn't sure whether to say yes or no on it because it seems like if I said yes, then it would not allow it. And if I said no, that it would. And then I had to read it a few times. So I eventually I ended up getting it. I can't remember exactly
Man,
like what the words were on it.
isn't that
Um,
crazy? That's even a thing, though. I mean,
yeah.
look, if you love somebody, you love
Hmm.
somebody. Who
Yeah.
who is anybody to tell you you can't love that person and marry that person all
Right.
because of, if they're a man or woman? Like, that's so unfair. It's not right, man.
It
And I
is
don't think
unfair.
it shouldn't be a thing. It should not be a thing on a ballot to determine
Hmm.
whether or not you can marry somebody.
Did they
Um,
have that on the California
nah,
props and whatnot?
I didn't see it on my side of things. I didn't see it. No.
I know there was a few. So I didn't see obviously the California ballot because I'm not in California, but um, my brother-in-law he told me a few of the props that he had to really read over. There's a few props that allow for renters to not pay a landlord of a home for like X amount of months, and the landlord cannot evict them. And I think that's kind of a dirty game that they're trying to play by allowing for that to happen because there's going to be a lot of landlords getting screwed and messed up over that, and um, I mean both can get screwed at the end of the day, but I definitely think that if somebody's renting from a landlord, you got to be paying your rent. You can't
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
just
for sure.
decide that you're not going to and then there's no repercussions for doing that. It's just not fair.
What if, and I would say in that type of situation, what if they made it like 100% fair for everybody? What if the landlord said, okay, look, normally you're paying $1,000 a month. Obviously,
Mhm.
you're not working right now. So I need to see from your employer exactly how many hours you're working and what you're making. And then I'm going to take what you were making before and what you
Mhm.
were paying me, and you were doing good. Now you're making X amount of dollars, working X amount of hours. So if you only make 500 and you're only able to pay, whatever, then I need to make sure that I can at least get, is 500 going to be good enough? Because that'll still leave you a little bit for food. leave you for some medical stuff, that you might need
Yeah.
for the kids, maybe some toys or something. There has to be a workout system, but there also has to be a communication between a landlord and the employer to say, you know, I need to be in the loop on when this person does return back to work,
And
full time, or even, get more hours, period.
right. In a perfect world, I think that would be super cool. But in actuality, a lot of these landlords, they don't even have the house paid off themselves.
Right.
So they can't even have wiggle room like that.
Right.
And that's kind of the hole some of these people who have mortgages put themselves in. They bought a house, they got a home loan, bought the house, and they have a mortgage to pay, and then they're renting out the house. But then a pandemic happens and you're screwed. Everybody's screwed. And then your home gets foreclosed, and now you got that on your record. Now you got to worry about that. So that's kind of the messed up
Now,
scenario right now with that.
what if what if they just froze everything though? I mean, wouldn't it have
They
been
should have.
yeah, so okay, so let's say the government comes and says, okay, look, from banks, from landlords to whatever. Look, the landlord obviously might not even own the building, so he still has to pay on the building, right? Because he obviously took out a loan to buy the building.
Right.
So from that point, it's going to stop right there. Guess what, landlord? You don't have to pay for this particular building. It's on a freeze right now.
Yeah.
Then your tenants aren't going to have to pay right now. And what we're going to do as a government is we're going to send everybody X amount of money per month, and I need you guys to hunker down. Don't worry about getting out there and stressing. I need you guys to stay indoors. Let's knock this pandemic out. Let's, do the best that we can. And then that way, constantly send people a little bit of cheese. It'll be fine. I mean, if you look at Andrew Yang's, thing where he was saying what, $1,000 a month,
Mm-hmm.
then what's wrong with taking his strategy and giving people $1,000 a month if they don't have to pay rent at this particular moment? Because from the top down, nobody's being charged. So guess what? Nobody's going to be penalized.
See, this is why I feel like the pandemic was so political, is because they didn't take those steps, and instead they they gave people, a little bit of money for a little period of time. They gave you one stimulus, promised another, didn't do that, and now you got the election coming up, and both of these guys, both of these sides are saying, "Oh, pick me, we'll get rid of the pandemic." And the pandemic's been happening for the last 7 months, and it's really got me thinking about how political this really turned. And I'm sure the coronavirus was really out there, and it is really out there, and it is a threat, but it turned so political to the point where we're still dealing with this 7 months in, and there's still no answers, and there's still landlords getting fucked by renters, renters getting fucked by landlords, and it's still a big mess, and there's still no solid concrete answers, and people aren't getting their money that they want. The economy is messed up. They got casinos out here in Vegas shutting down 3 days of the week. You got people who own homes who made a great living over the course of a career that who are not able to do that now, and they're also not getting unemployment. The economy is really actually in shambles right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad, bro. It really is, man.
It
I mean,
definitely.
I know there's a fix out there, but it's gonna have to take, everybody to be on board from the higher ups and trickle some of that down to us. Especially people that, are self-employed. And I know
Mhm.
self-employed people went through it for a long time. And that even became politicized for self-employment. I mean, you look at, people that own salons or barbershops, they were all over the news left and right because they were like, I got, the landlord's charging me rent for the building. I got clients that, only get paid if I cut my client's hair. I'm not getting no money. Unemployment is not taking people for self-employed at that time in the beginning. Unemployment wasn't taking people that were self-employed. So that was a huge thing. And I mean, they were all over the news. It became
Mhm.
politicized. You got the governor talking about it, so it was everywhere. And that's
Yeah.
sad, man. It really is sad that it has to be even to that level.
Absolutely. I agree. Well, I'm very curious to see what happens tonight. I'll be watching it, and I know it's going to take like a week probably with all of the mail-in ballots for everything to get counted and for us to have a concrete winner, but I am very curious to see what unfolds. I'm going to be watching the live coverage of election today. Are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I've never been so into politics, man. I'm kind of excited right now.
Yeah, man. I want to see. I am gonna hunker down though, man. I mean, I'm not gonna be going out tonight. I definitely think it's probably not the smartest time to go out and try to
No,
party.
I've been hearing a lot of sirens today too, and there's a voting spot like a mile down the street. So who knows, man? Maybe there's been, some pre-Civil War happening over there.
I
Some
mean,
arguing and
maybe
bickering.
maybe nothing's gonna happen, man. Maybe people are gonna be upset. Yes, they're gonna be very upset. But maybe people, will understand that, taking it to that next level is not gonna be worth it in the end.
Or maybe Kanye West wins, and I put 10,000 brand new fresh dollar bills in my pocket, baby.
Hey,
Woo!
yay, we got 10 grand.
Oh, you said we. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. I going to send me your half, man.
Oh,
Dang.
so wait, hold on. You were literally, when you said that, it just went crazy on the auto. Did you say send you my what? It started with an A. What did you say?
SS. What?
Wait,
What?
that's what it sounded like to me. But what did you say?
Whoa. Half.
Oh,
HALF.
half. Oh my God. I was like, whoa,
Calm
hey,
down over there.
come
Calm
on, man.
down. I know, getting a little feisty over there. Fuck
Yes,
you.
indeed.
Oh, what?
Oh, what is with
Hey, man.
uh,
Hey, man. Well, it's nice to be back, cuzzo, man.
hey, it's nice to be back, man. We didn't talk about Ryan Garcia. We didn't talk about boxing.
Man, it's too.
I mean,
We're too
it's
political. It's
I know, man.
political, man.
Political day. All right, man.
We'll
Next
talk
time,
boxing next week. We'll talk boxing.
we'll talk
So
about
so what day are we dropping every week? Every
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Every
I say
Tuesday?
every Tuesday we record. Yeah,
Every Tuesday we record, and we drop every Wednesday.
sounds good to me.
Tuesday night, Wednesday. So everybody, thank you for tuning in. The Buzzo Cuzzo, we're back live in the flesh, baby. So tap in with your boys on Instagram, the Buzzo Cuzzo. That's TheBuzzocuzzo. You know how it goes. Woo, woo. All right, y'all. We out.
All right, peace.